Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
Aparna, good to see you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks so much for having me.
I had a blast watching the show. I wrapped it up and I was just like, I can't wait for everyone to see it because it's just so much fun. And I think we have some stuff to talk about, obviously, with your character because
A little bit.
Just a little bit, right? Something might happen, right? Let's just
As the kids say, we've got some tea to spill. It's spicy.
We do. Here's the thing. There's so much content out there right now that's kind of genre bending and kind of throwing everything in there. There are comedies that have action in them. There are action movies and shows that have comedy in them. Right. This one is split down the middle. This is like a 50-50 action comedy. Was that evident to you when you were reading the script for FUBAR specifically?
Yes, it was. Yeah. It's so written. Honestly, Nick Santora, our showrunner, and our amazing writers, like they really know their stuff. And like when I was reading it, I was cracking up all the way through it. And but then to see the footage after and see how it all came together, I was dying at that point because it's one thing to visualize it. And it's another thing to see Arnold it's stumped by his daughter and all these other people in the show doing what they do best. Yeah, it's so funny.
Some of my favorite, like Tina kind of joins the case and everything. There's a cool, there's like a love story kind of thing with Barry played by Milan. There's all that. One of my favorite things about the show was the briefings. That's one of my favorite things. So what was that like kind of filming those? Because everyone's together for those, right?
Honestly, those were actually my favorite to shoot. We had so much fun. Arnold would always he'd start every day with a little motivational speech and then we'd all be cracking up and waiting for him to prank us. And no, I'm not joking. He would always tell us about the ways he and Danny DeVito would prank each other. And we were all like, oh, that's so funny. And then we'd be like, when are we next? No, it was so much fun. It's such a cool set too, and all those screens are no green screens. It was all like that in person, so I felt like I was walking into an actual CIA room with all these amazing people, legends,
Absolutely. So I don't know if you were like me during the pandemic playing that game Among Us, right? I play that game a lot. Okay, so Tina, spoiler alert, I mean by the time this interview was out, a little sus, I would say.
It's a little sus.
But it was subtle suspect in my opinion, where I was watching the first 3-4 episodes and I was kind of like, okay. But then you could have said the same thing about other people as well. And then though, it's episode 7, it's no. But then it was wait a second. And then it kind of happened. But I was still thrown off because we still don't even know what exactly it is. Obviously, you were a spy, but it's what else? Or maybe you're not a spy. Maybe you're just something. I don't know. We don't know.
I'm just a really cool, smart girl who can speak a lot of languages.
You're not okay. Cool. So you're not on the team. You're not on the team.
I mean, well, by the end, they think I'm on the team, which is kind of nice. I think Tina actually does want to be accepted and be part of the group.
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
But and I think also she's a double agent. Yeah. So I'm just gonna say it. She's a Russian double agent. And
what was the timeline of finding out that information? When you were kind of cast for Tina, did you know about that? Did they keep it a secret? That's what really interests me. That I really want to know.
No, when I auditioned for it, there was no information. So actually, I played for business. I was like, she got a lot of jargon. I need to make sure I sound like I know what I'm talking about because I don't know anything about this. I'm sorry. But then I remember when I was doing the callback and the showrunner and I had a call and he just told me the whole plot twist, her whole backstory. And I was just sitting there I was like, I need a minute to process this. It's so cool. I can't believe it. The entire cast knew the plot twist, but they didn't know. I mean, it's not something that people actually genuinely forgot all the time because it's not until that last episode that we really see it. And we didn't really go into her backstory at all. So I kind of got to keep that up my sleeve, a little bit.
It was such a good double take too. You guys got to get out of there to the wedding. And then you get the call and it's no. Because
I know.
No, honestly, part of that's credit to you because you did such an amazing job from an acting perspective.
So much.
But really, really good because that was really impressive to me. The switch, I love
life mate. Thank you so much for that.
I really appreciate that. I mean, we got to get, it's going to be dropping worldwide on Netflix on the 25th. Like, it's pretty soon. I know you had your premiere recently. It's so excited. Like, it's so crazy. You were on Boo Bitch, so you were on a show that was on Netflix before. So I feel like when you were on that show, you kind of got a little bit of you got a glimpse of the Netflix effect, what we call it, right? It's going to drop.
Sure,
everyone's going to talk about it. So are you prepared a little bit for what's to come in terms of the reception with FUBAR? I don't think you could ever prepare for the Netflix effect.
I don't think I'm ever prepared for anything like this. It still hasn't even hit me that I even shot this. Like, I'm convinced all of this, including this interview, is a fever dream. So, like, I don't know that it ever hits you. And but I'm so excited for people to get to see it. Like, the fact that it does get to come out and people get to see me play with these legends, it's insane to me. I don't know if I'm ever gonna. I'm just a girl from Portland, so I don't know if it's ever gonna land for me, to be honest.
Yeah, and then last question. What would you? Because the last question before we wrap up. I mean, there's always going to be learning experiences on set. You know what I mean? Sure. Whether you've been on a set once, when you've been on a set like thousands of times. Yeah. What were some learning experiences for you as a storyteller and actor on FUBAR specifically, Aparna?
Honestly, every day getting to work with people like Arnold, getting to work with and Fortune and everyone, like, there's this insane work ethic that they all have that just comes with an immense gratitude. And it makes you realize, like, it really doesn't matter how big your career gets. It's that attitude. And honestly, like, it's such a corny thing, but it's so real. Yeah. I think, like, caring about that work-life balance, caring about the people that you work with, and just having, like, knowing you're with a team. I think there's no amount of experiences can teach you that enough. And on this set, like, I learned so much on the acting front, watching people. I learned so much professionally, but really, I think the biggest lesson I took away, like, the biggest lessons I've taken away, were just as a human being, like, and I feel so lucky I got to work with someone who's so known and so larger than life, but also really, like, on my first day, sat me down and was like, "You're a part of my team. Let me get to know you." And I'm like, those little lessons stay with you for life,
100%. And, FUBAR is dropping worldwide on Netflix May 25th, so people can check that out. Aparna, so great chatting with you. Thank you so much for your time, and congratulations.
Thank you. Oh my goodness, thank you so much. So lovely to chat with you.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.